say surrender, what does that mean to you? What has surrender meant to you? I'm curious to know. When somebody says just surrender to God, just surrender yourself, surrender, your story, what comes up for you? For me, I think it's different because as the person speaking, as the person sharing, I also have the experience of what it means to me. And sometimes words don't, when we're speaking, when the individual's speaking, it's when I'm speaking, it's the embodiment of my experience. But words fall short because each one of us has our own experience with a word or with with what that has meant to us. Does that make sense? And so for some, surrender feels like, oh my gosh, I'm giving up. I'm giving up on myself. I'm giving up on my hopes, my dreams, who I've been, who I hope to be. I'm giving up control. I'm giving up power. I'm giving up all of this. And it can feel like that. And then I love Jennifer says letting go of control and expectations. And Mara, you just said yes, peace, right? So letting go. And then the question is, oh, here we go. Surrender, Angela, is to let things go and lean into whatever is happening, right? And that is, and we're growing in that way. And not everyone has this perspective when you say this word. And so I think it's important always to be looking at, where am I starting? Am I trying to align myself to what whoever is speaking is saying? Am I trying to fit myself to that? Or am I really here and I understand the concept, but I'm not really there yet? I think this is more important, to be honest with you. I think that is part of the surrender, is to accept and to understand where we are, where our own energy, thoughts, resistance, opening is, not trying to move ourselves to be where we're not, because that's a dishonesty. That's a way, it's a setup. And it's a setup to keep us kind of in this churning of, I'm never who I'm supposed to be, or I'm not meeting the requirements, or I am never enough. Does that make sense? And so, as we are, like, we may understand the concept of surrender, then the question is understanding, how am I being in that in any given situation, right? In this moment, in this safe environment, it's very easy for me to be open. And then I get with my husband, or I get with a particularly challenging client, or I get with other people who think differently. And I find myself like, like, where is that part of me that's resistant? Where is that part of me that still is engaged and not surrendered, And so it's moving from concept into embodiment, into bringing this into a way of being. And I don't think it's not like you ever really reach it like the top of a mountain, like, oh, I'm here now, completely there. Like, I feel like we're continually coming to it and shedding it, coming to it and shedding it. And that's the practice. And that's really the opening to our connection, is being in that awareness and being in that willingness to see, to understand, to reflect, and to allow new meanings, to allow a new perspective, to acknowledge progress or regress towards something, or with something, or someone, ourselves. And so as we do this work, as we're in this practice, it invites us, the invitation is in expanding our capacity. And I was thinking about that yesterday, like, why expanding our capacity, right? Like, why is that so important? And I think it's when our capacity is greater than how we're living, we begin to notice that. We begin to notice that there's somewhere that I think it's in our human nature to want to expand. It's kind of that divine male energy of wanting to move and to cut through and to to uh, to go where no one's gone before, like to just to move, to be directed and directive. And I think when we realize there's new lands, there's a part of, new expanded awareness, new expanded experience of ourselves. There's a desire to want to move into that. There's also reticence, but there's also this desire because we're adventurers. We are creators and seekers and learners, and that's part of the human spirit. And so as we expand in our awareness, we are also and expanding in our experience, we're it's like a continued invitation to more. Does that is that resonating? I'm curious to know that we're moving in this way. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Aurora. Hello, Teresa. I'm glad you're on. Angela, I'm glad you're on. Thank you all for joining me on this beautiful Sunday morning, or afternoon, relatively speaking. Um, So I've been thinking a little bit about this. It's been in my consciousness, and I've been realizing that it's this practice is bringing us peace, but it's an expanded awareness of peace. It's expanded beyond our mental body. It's expanded beyond our emotions, that we are acclimating to something more vast than our mind can grab, more resonant than our heart can wrap around. And when we're in that, it kind of activates this curiosity, this willingness to move to that. And um, I'm curious to know if you're noticing that. I'm curious to know if you've noticed you're coming up against your own limitations that are hidden behind limitations you were sure you let go of, which are hidden behind limitations you were sure you let go of. I certainly am. I certainly am. I certainly am finding myself like daily more open, more gentle, more aware of those places that I'm so sure that I'm sure. And then questioning, how can I be so sure? And being okay with that. Not questioning it like, how do I get to more certainty? But is the ground that I'm standing on as firm as I really want to believe it is? And where is my reliance? Is it on the ground that my feet are on or that I think I'm on? Or is it in that inner wisdom? Is it in that experience that I don't have words for yet? That's, I think, this opening. Let's see. Carrie, yes. I'm getting more clarity about limitations. Yep. And how that's opening. And I think this is that invite. And so if we're not willing to surrender and only regard the limitations or only try to let them go, what are we letting go? And then what are we opening ourselves to? Are we expecting something else to fill it? Just notice. Just notice kind of where you're at with that. I've been thinking clearly a lot about this. And and in this practice, it does feel good. It feels good. It feels good to be opening. It feels good to be expanding. And by all means, we should do what feels good. I mean, we should be in that. It's a good thing. The The other piece, though, is that it is a practice that invites more. It invites us to more, and we don't have to take the invitation. So there's no expectation that I have that you're going to take that invitation. I'm just letting you know that I have been noticing this, and in my own awareness that the invitation has been greater and been opening me and to a more profound way of being. I won't say more profound, more clear way of being for me, where I am unencumbered, unhindered. Is that a word? Unhindered? Hinderless? I don't know. Somebody will know the word. Without hindrance uh, of limitation, of my own creation, of those that feel as though they could be enforced over me, but instead coming to this clearer sense of my power in my choice in my attitude, in my choice of what gets my attention, in my choice of how I choose to breathe and be and know in this now moment. That is a really, really powerful experience. And it becomes very much unshakable, but not unchangeable. Right? Like, I know what I know, but I'm also willing to know more. I am willing to expand and I'm willing to release what I know today if what is coming to me in the next moment grows me and expands me. And I think that is so, so, so important. Hi, Candy. I'm glad you're on. Aurora, last night I received my level 1 attunement from Jennifer. Wonderful. I released a ton of life bonds from current and past lives. It was amazing. And that is powerful. I'm not surprised because now is when all of these lifetimes, all of time is collapsing. And so we have greater access with fewer limitations, conceived limitations that we have to understand all these lives. They just kind of collapse and everything's really present. A lot of people are finding this ability to open and to release, and I love that you're experiencing that. I love that you had that experience, and Reiki is such a catalyst for many, and energy healing in general is a catalyst for healing, but Reiki is there's something in the attunements that kind of do this, like it just cracks us wide open in a different way, and I can't say about some of the other practices, and I can't not say. So I'm by no means speaking of Reiki over healing hands as, one over the other. To me, energy healing is energy healing. It really is in the willingness to allow the flow of light, the flow of love, the flow of our divine nature to open up. And I feel like that's often what Reiki trainings and Reiki attunements do, is that they crack that wide open. Does that make sense to everybody? I know it did for me. I know it really opened me up to some things that it wasn't known. It just was not. It was like I read it in a book somewhere, and then it became integrated into my knowing, into my consciousness, into my being, even if I didn't yet believe it, which is a lot like what we're doing with the breath, is that through the breath, in the acclimation, we are coming to be in vibration, coming to feel and experience truth before we necessarily believe it. And so this is where that undoing comes. This is where we come into, like, the where we come up against our limitations, and sometimes we will choose our limitations. We will choose the way that it has always been because it's comfortable and familiar, and this is what's here. And then sometimes we're going to surrender ourselves. We're going to go, "Oh my gosh, I'm so seeing this for what it is, and this is not serving me right now. It's not maybe it'll be there someday, but now it's not." And I am letting it go to open up to this experience that I'm feeling in my body, that I'm experiencing in every cell of me, and I'm opening up to this. And this level of fulfillment is greater than what I could conceive of doing any other way. That is what this practice is doing. It is coming into this broader experience. And so I think that is the deep and profound experience that we're opening up to. And it is becoming more and more clear. And at least I will say for me, as I practice this, and as I am practicing this more and more and more outside of even our time together, the more I'm open to it, the more that I'm in these moments and feeling stress with a child or my husband, and taking a breath and feeling that expansion, and trusting that over the story that's running in my head. Powerful, powerful, powerful shift in consciousness, powerful shift in awareness. Um, oh, look at this. And so I love this, Jennifer. So what came out when you were working with Aurora was becoming a facilitator of wholeness instead of saying a healer. And think about that. Think about what that means. Think about embodying that and feeling that resonate in your being and say, is this true? And every part of you will vibrate in that knowing. And I love that. I think that is absolutely stunning and beautiful and resonant in the words and the vibration. The only one who can say, is this resonant for you, is you. And when you know, you'll be in your yes, and that yes guides us. That yes is like the whew, and it begets more that is in that alignment. And it's yes is also a surrender. It's a declaration and a surrender. Think about that. When we say yes to something, we are we are giving ourselves to it, which is a surrender, and we are opening ourselves to it, which is an invitation, right? So we are in, and we don't always know where our yes is going to take us. So yes is such a powerful vibration to be resonant with, and to be being clear with yourself on. So as we meditate today, as we move into this work, yeah, there's the artwork. There's the chat. I'm still keeping these because I love them. They're evolving in my daughter's artwork. That we continue to move and grow and expand, and pay attention to what these words mean. Pay attention to where even the words create resistance in you, and that's okay. Trust what is true for you. When you honor your experience as valuable and valid, and honor where you are in the experience, which may be completely in alignment with the words that I'm saying, or it could be completely like, Nia, you're a whack job. That's okay. You just go, this is where I am. And it's not to come to me, it like to come and meet me. That's not the goal, right? It's not to be where Nia is. It's to really honor where you are, and to say, okay, what am I opening to? What am I willing for? Are the words that are creating resistance in me? What is the gift in this? What is the invitation? Because our resistance brings us into something more. It shows us where we are creating emotional, energetic, mental blocks. Because think about it, it's just a word. These are just words. Do you feel something different? What does the word mean to you? What would need to shift for you to be more open, more willing? These are those questions that take us on a deeper journey. All right, I'm going to have a drink. Looks like I'm drinking Mountain Dew, but it's not. I don't drink Mountain Dew. This is some vitamin water that I take, which has settled, but that's okay. It still tastes good. All right, let's begin. Let's take some deep breaths. And just come to this now moment. We breathe in and we breathe out. Bringing our attention to the breath, following it in and out. As we breathe in, let's breathe in light and appreciation for this body, for the breath, for the air that we have, the plenty in our air, our lungs that receive and gently pull this air into our body, for every cell to be nourished, to receive oxygen, to be revitalized, to be renewed and nourished. And in our exhale, feeling that gentle pull, gentle pulling of all the toxins out of our body. In and we renew, and exhale, recycle. Feeling the fullness in our breath and the fullness in our exhalation. We relax. And as we breathe, we come behind our thoughts, behind our emotions, our heart, to that still, quiet place. Our mind can go on about its business, our emotions can do all that they do, but here we breathe in and we experience clarity and spaciousness and presence. And as we breathe, we just allow our full attention to come to this place within our vessel, within this physical body, this energetic body that we are. Connected, open, but here we are in all of this, present, now. Bring our attention to this body, this physical form that carries us. All of these cells connected and vibrating in harmony with one another. Every cell knowing its purpose, knowing its function. The mind connecting electrically, sending pulses through the neurons, throughout the body, keeping the rhythm of the heart, the eyes blinking, the mind thinking, the skin feeling, stomach and the intestines digesting, all of the food that we had earlier being digested, being processed, all of this happening because every cell in this vessel knows its function. And as we breathe in clarity and nourishment and plenty, awakening that function and optimization of that function in every cell of our being. Our heart cells beating clearly, keeping the rhythm, working together. Ba-bum, ba-bum. squeezing, pumping that blood through our body, ensuring that the oxygen moves through and the waste is carried where it needs to go. Our lungs that breathe in the oxygen and release the carbon dioxide and other gases. This exchange happening more easily and readily. Our mind relaxed, allowing the neurons, the thoughts, the capacity for the mind to work more optimally, accessing parts of our mind that were before unavailable to us. Our capacity to think, to feel, to express, to connect, to receive, to experience, growing with every breath. Every organ in our body functioning optimally, every cell making up the organs. Awake to the divine template that it holds, that allows for optimized function and efficiency. And a willingness for those cells that have lost their template, their map of knowing who they are. The willingness to release and be recycled so that new cells may grow and function, releasing dis-ease, releasing discord, opening this body to its divine function. And we breathe, feeling the light moving in and through us, feeling ease and grace and clarity move through every cell, every electrical charge moving more readily, charging more completely, more fully, more clearly. We are wired and optimal and at full capacity. And we are growing. And as we breathe our awareness outward into our energy field that surrounds this physical form and moves into and through this physical body. This energy, these vibrations that are our first connection in the world, to the world and with the world. It is where we experience other. We sense it before we feel it, before it awakens our sight, our ears, our touch, our taste, our knowing. It vibrates more clearly that we can awaken and know fully our place in and among life on this planet. Our vibration more clear and acute and open as we are resonant with the divine and our divinity. And that which is resonant with us is attractive and moves easily into and through our vessel. And that which we are attractive to moves outward and receives our light, receives our vibration. It is how we are breathing in this world, how our energy moves in and through the world. And we feel this breath, we feel this rhythm, our connection more clearly. And as we bring our awareness to our connection with Mother Earth, we feel her love rising up and around us always. Every cell, every molecule of our vessel, feeling the gentle tug of gravity to her as we are connected, tethered to her beneath our feet. This cord that connects us, allowing the love, the support, the place, the connection to Earth. It runs more deeply than the feet upon her. It is our home, our place, and this rises in our consciousness, rises up around us and through us. We feel her in us and with us, and we breathe. We belong here. We are of her. She gives us home and place, and our appreciation grows. Our connection to all of her children grows. And we, in this knowing, are open and willing. As we bring our attention above our heads, about an arm's length above our crown chakra is our connection to the quantum field. What was once a point is now open like a tulip, our vessel open to receive, open to the infinite, to the light of spirit that flows and grows infinitely. Like 100,000 suns, it glows brightly. And we feel this love, this energy wash down and through us, flooding into us, washing, pouring into our vessel. Crystalline white light. And we breathe this into our being, refreshing, expanding. It is like breathing peppermint. We open wider with every breath. Every cell opening. Every breath expanding our capacity to receive and vibrate in this light as it moves in, nourishing us, fulfilling us. We relax to receive and to be awash in divine love and to acclimate and align to the limitless truth of this love. We open to receive as it washes over and through us. In this awareness, we are seeing and feeling and experiencing this, but it is true even when we are not seeing it, even when we are busy. We are being filled, and it moves in and through us. And our vessel vibrates in this light of love. Every cell charged with this light, vibrating, resonating, allowing this light to be seen by all as it moves into and radiates outward from our vessel, radiating gently outward into the consciousness of humanity. As we are willing and we grow and we expand, so does the consciousness of humanity. All our brothers and sisters breathing now, consciously and unconsciously, this light into their vessel, awakening, sparking truth within them, that they too are breathers of light. And we expand. Every breath opening us, connecting us, expanding us into oneness, into wholeness. We breathe. This vessel expanding in its capacity to receive and vibrate in this light of the Christ consciousness, in the light of love that is the creative force in this universe that moves in and through our vessel. We feel this love gently expanding us, creating space in our thoughts, in our beliefs, in our relationships, in our sense of self. The light shines and we expand and we breathe. We breathe and feel the rhythm of this love, this light, this infinite field of possibility breathing us. The rhythm of the breath awakening and knowing in our vessel, reminding us and calling us home, that we may know who we are, that we may feel the wholeness, the holiness of our divine self as true and real and now. We breathe and we allow this to wash in and through our consciousness. And as we breathe into this experience, we are breathing this experience into all of humanity, all of the minds, the thoughts, the energy that connects us. We are breathing this experience that is beyond words, beyond our understanding, allowing the vibration to gently move in and through the collective consciousness. And we breathe. We breathe and feel this rhythm alive and well in our being, alive and well in our consciousness. It is our breath that brings us to wholeness and brings us to the knowing of our wholeness. Every breath We come to the power in who we are, inherent in our being, awakening, acclimating, aligning to the rhythm and clarity of harmony, bringing power into a centrifuge of energy that moves outward in rhythm with life, in rhythm with what is life-giving, what is good, what is God, expanded and open and giving. For there is no limit. As we breathe and experience this truth awash in our vessel, awakening, sparking a new vibration, a new connection, a new truth. It is in a vibration in our body that we experience this, behind our thoughts, behind our emotions. It is this resonance with this vibration that forms and shapes our connection to our thoughts, to our emotions, to how we communicate and relate. And we feel the truth rise up in our vessel, rise up in us, that we know and are always resonant with what is good, what is divine, and what is in harmony with life and is life-giving. In many ways, our willingness to vibrate and to pay attention to this vibration is our yes, our declaration, our surrender. And it is here that we receive and feel the love wash over and through us. The divine love, the connection and flow from the field of infinite possibility, that which is beyond our understanding, that whose depth and breadth we cannot conceive. Our mind cannot wrap itself around the vastness, the power, the capability, and the capacity for what is possible. And in this we must let go and experience the resonance with it, to give ourselves over to it, to allow the truth and our experience awaken our trust, awaken our willingness. For this is our function as human beings, our blueprint, our way, our design is one of creation. We think and we create. We navigate. We are able to work with nature, work with life, work with form and matter. And as we awaken to our function and the truth that it is limitless, that we must open beyond our imagination. And we breathe. And we relax and open to receive this gift. This gift of experience in what it is to be expanded. Open, willing to create in alignment, to create with harmony, to feel life moving in and through us, to experience our nature awakening with every breath. The flower raises and opens itself to the sun because it knows to open to the light. This is true in our nature as well. We open, not knowing how far or how much we can, but we trust in the light and we open to it. And in this, we must surrender our fear, our doubt, our beliefs, our limitations, our need to know, and trust in the nature that is awakening in our vessel, in our being, and we breathe. We breathe and we experience what it is to be whole. Wholeness and holiness in every breath. We experience this vibration. We are with all, and no thing is lacking. All that we desire, all that we need is now here. We are open and we are vibrating and acclimating to abundance, to oneness, to wholeness. And in this, we are more willing, laying down our fears, our doubts, our concerns, our limited thoughts, and we open, awash in the love and infinite force of creation. We breathe, and in this we know that I am that I am, 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 breathers of light. Do you feel yourself relaxed and open, willing? Know that it is safe for you. Many of you carry the fear that you are not safe to be open. This fear has been resonant in the consciousness of mankind, that you must be protected. And it is your laws, your stories, your ways that are designed to protect you, protecting you from being hurt, protecting your vessel, this body, protecting your life, protecting what is precious and true to those who feel your life is precious. And dear ones, it is. But in this protection, in these rules, in these structures, you have learned to trust this more than to listen to yourselves, than to be willing to be open, to trust that this is your natural state of being. It is not to forego clothing or to forego wellness or to not trust your inner wisdom of what does not feel good or right. This is not what is to be disregarded. It is the story that you do not know what you know, that you cannot know, that it must be given to you, that you must be told and shown. And yet you are breathing into your knowing, into truth through your own vibration. It is not being bestowed upon you. It is not being downloaded to you. It is innate in your being, in your vessel. And you are awakening to this through your vessel. Your breath is your willingness, dear ones. As you come to this, you will come to know yourself, the power and the divinity that you are. And as you open, every breath opening you, expanding you, bringing you into the vibration of your wholeness, until the stories have nowhere to be. You are coming to this, dear one. You are coming to know this, dear one, every breath. And as you come to this more, so will all of humanity. As you breathe, you are breathing with all, for you are all. You do not have to understand or believe for this to be true, just as you do not have to believe or understand your wholeness for it to be true. But as you breathe, you are coming to this. It is becoming more resonant in your experience and awakening in your consciousness and shaping your thoughts and your emotions and your behaviors and your reactions. It is gentle and honoring and loving as you are worthy of, dear ones. And we honor you in this. We offer you blessings that you may experience more. Honor yourselves as you are drawn to the breath, as your body says, I wish to connect now. Allow yourself to do so. As you move into complexity and fear and doubt and certainty, allow yourself to breathe, to open to new ways, to open to a broader consciousness. And in this, you will find continued peace, continued power in yourself, in your vessel. And the truth that you seek resides within you, dear ones. These are our blessings. Aha! Aya! Ah! Aya! Ha! Ha! Ah! Ah! Aya! Hi! Aya! Aya! Oh, come, sisters, brothers, we sing with you. We breathe with you. We love you. We are with you. Oh, come, sisters and brothers, breathe. Breathe with the all. Breathe that you may see your light. Breathe that you may know your truth. Breathe, and we breathe with you. We honor you. We honor who you are becoming. We honor you and who you are becoming and what you are creating. Ah, ah, yeah, ah, yeah, ah, yeah, ah. Breathe, breathe, breathe. I'm shaking right now. It's very powerful. There are many who are coming into circle, who are now coming to the fire, if you will. And we are choosing to be here. We're choosing to be in this vibration. And the fire is this eternal light, coming to and being with and being in the warmth, in the community, opening and willing and sharing, new stories, new words, new ways emerging, emerging from wholeness, from the genius that is each and every one of us, the genius that is who we are. It is more than creative, it is a genius. And this is good. There's so many words that are like flowing, and words or images, and just I'm I'm getting the very strong sense that each one of us is feeling whatever this is, whatever it's bringing forward. It feels like opening, opening to it's an opening into the unknown, but it's our yes, and it's in that now. Hmm. I'm very blessed to share this time with all of you. And if you joined in the middle, I encourage you to go back and listen and to be in this meditation, in this practice. For those of you who are joining anew, we've been breathing for 68 or 69 days. I can't even remember now. And wherever you're coming in, you're being breathed in. There's some part of you that found your way maybe through a friend, maybe through an invitation. But when you chose to come to the meditation, you were breathed in. And it's the perfect moment. It's not like you have to start at square one. It's that you're breathed in. I hope that makes sense. That we are breathing together, and we are breathing this experience in with all of humanity. So everyone that we're breathing with, they're experiencing this. They may not know it. They may not have that that um, cognizance or saying, I'm being breathed, and now I know. It may, but when they come to this practice, there's a vibration of knowing, even if not everything resonates. And so if you are new, or if you're experiencing this, or if you're watching this for the first time, know that this is the perfect moment, and that we are already breathing with you. It has been our service and our willingness to do so. And this is good. And Jennifer, you said I had forgotten that when I was doing the attunement last night, light language came through and the words sounded very similar to the ones that came through today. This is new for me. I love that. I love that. And nothing is surprising. You know, it's all it is a willingness. And that's where this idea of opening our channel, understanding that we are all channels. If you consider even what the visualization of us as a tulip, right, that we're receiving, that our vessel, this, there's our physical form, then there's the energetic field, and it's open and porous on all sides, right? And but we're open on top to receive. So it's like being a cup, which is kind of holding a resonance that allows this light to come in and then to permeate outward and also to have life move in and through us. It There's an abundance here, and that this is allowing all of this as being a channel, and it's enlivening and awakening your gifts, your talents, your joy of how you wish to be in the world. It's all of this, and you consider and what it is to be willing. Uh, Linda, you do not need to know to understand for it to be true. Yeah. And think about it. Like one of my favorite lessons in this is around electricity. I mean, you can't see it, but we still switch on lights, right? We can't see electricity most of the time, but we trust that it's there. And that may be a very like rudimentary experience, but that's kind of what we're talking about. Like we may not be able to see what this is, but can we feel it? We feel it. We feel when we flip the light on. And we know if we put our tongue in a socket or our finger in a socket, at least the old ones, we know we'd experience electricity, but we still can't always see it, right? Kathy, I'm beginning to look at writings about Mary Magdalene and her gospel. Yes, it is said that her words encourage us to look at things with the eyes of our heart. Indeed. And Mary Magdalene is um, this energetic balance, right? This energetic, uh, well, there's the vessel, the uterus is like a vessel, right? If we think about that. And so we think about this beautiful container that women are to be receiving. It's different, and it's not to say women versus men. It's not that, right? But to be in that vibration. And then in this, what I will say, Kathy, is I think we're being expanded even beyond that. Because even the eyes of our heart are as fickle as our mind. The eyes here and the eyes here are good, but they're tools. Our emotions, our heart, and our mind are fickle, but that knowing that we're being invited to is even deeper than that. And it's less distracted by emotion, it's less distracted by needing to know. And it there's balance in this. I hope that makes sense. I'm not saying don't study it. I think Mary Magdalene is absolutely beautiful. I think I have a book. I'll see if I can find it, and if you don't have it, I will get that to you. Kathy, I love the T-shirt that says "Science is true whether you like it or not." Right? Right. You know, and and then also so are miracles, and miracles are those things that fall outside of scientific method, right? So both can be true, both can be valuable and valid. And so where do we find truth if we're looking at science to determine truth? Well, science is continually changing because our truth and our experience and our capability is continually changing, right? So what we thought 20 years ago is not the same as what we know now. So it's continually moving. So science isn't static, and neither is spirituality static. So our experience is continually shifting and changing and expanding. And the question is, are we willing? Are we porous? Are we receiving? And where moment to moment are we seeking that connection to truth? And that's the invitation that is behind the mind, behind the heart, into this deeper connection to knowing. Angela, I left my body when I opened to the universe in the breath through the tulip. My light body, energy body, soared and touched everything in the universe like my breath was tethered by a fiber. Oops, hang on, I want to read that. My body was in the chair. That's beautiful. Isn't that wonderful that to have that experience, to be that requires, when we think about it, it requires an awful lot of trust, right? To allow ourselves to be outside of our physical form, to be in that place that is so expanded, to be in that experience. To me, that is so beautiful. And so as we open to this, what does that feel like? What does that look like? So today, enjoy is what I would say. Enjoy this experience. Enjoy your day. Enjoy when you are called to your breath. Enjoy when you're noticing that, wow, my response to this is changing, or you get agitated and go, okay, where do I breathe? Where do I breathe and know truth? This is powerful. Hi, Elaine. I'm glad you popped on. Hi, Kathy. You said, I listened to the presentation yesterday talk about how much power there are when women gather in groups, and there are. And and I think we're also going to be finding when people gather openly. The reason women, it's so important for us to gather is because it's part of an opening to affirming our place, our power, our knowing that the stories that have kept us small, the way we respond is conditioned. And that and the way men respond is conditioned. The way we respond to each other and in the world and what we believe and what we hold as true and solid, we find are founded in story that maybe was once to protect us, or maybe was once to give someone more power that we forgot, but we're opening. And when women come together and we share honestly and truly our experience without judgment, without and without glossing over. Because in truth, some of our truth might be anger, might be deep grief and sadness, might be joy, might be misunderstanding, might be disagreement. But when we come together, there is an awakening of truth, of power, of limitation, of the truth in our limitation. And then to be willing maybe to expand beyond that. And that is powerful. That is expanded. That is truthful.